Stangibelisco here. The date is 24 August 2018 and the time is 11:25 a.m. Yes, 11:25 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time here in the town of Lead, L-E-A-D, South Dakota, near Deadwood, my home. I am watching with great interest the hurricane currently threatening the Hawaiian Islands. Right now, the hurricane is located about 140 or 150 miles southwest or west-southwest of the town in which I lived, Kona, which was right on the western shore of the Big Island. I lived in a place called the Kona Islander Inn from roughly May of 1999 until July or August of the year 2000, ostensibly to escape the Y2K bug, because I figured that the power electrical infrastructure was not going to be affected by mainland failures should there be a catastrophe at the Y2K point. Of course, there was no catastrophe and everything went smoothly. I lived there so a little over a year, and I only recall one bad day when it just rained hard. Most of the rest of the days were, well, there's something called VOG, volcanic fog, which causes overcast most of the time in the town of Kona. But right now, I think they're having a little more than just overcast. They're having a large rise in the ocean level because of this Hurricane Lane, which is only moving at 6 miles an hour towards the north. It's supposed to turn west. Of course, by the time you look at this, all of this will likely be history. A lot of the islands, though, are experiencing heavy rainfall, extremely heavy rainfall, localized flash flooding. It seems the consequences of a hurricane down there in Hawaii are far greater than they were in Miami, for example. I recall the close approach in 1979 of Hurricane David. The very edge of the eye wall of Hurricane David with 105-mile-an-hour winds just barely missed where I was, and we hardly had any effect at all. Along the coast, they had some minor flooding, but nothing like this hurricane. Even where David struck directly further up the coast towards Cape Canaveral, the effects were nowhere near what they're talking about in the islands of Hawaii. So my sympathies go out to you. I identify with you because I lived in Kona and I have a ham radio friend in Honolulu who is more than likely involved in some kind of civil defense communications efforts regarding this storm. I just find it fascinating and horrifying and I guess kind of depressing that those islands that I enjoyed so much have been going through what seems to be a lot of distress lately. The Big Island with its volcanoes and now this hurricane. They had the threat from another hurricane earlier in the season. I didn't say it was the 24th of October, did I? I don't, my memory is kind of screwed up right now because of the pain medication that I'm on, I think. But my remembrance of these events is definitely not messed up. And my sympathies go out to all of you, but you will learn from this experience, hopefully. Heed the instructions of your civil defense directors on your various islands. That's my advice to the citizenry. I remember I don't remember the name of the man who was the civil defense director on the Big Island, but he was rather of an authoritarian figure, and the Kona Islander Inn most certainly would have been evacuated, and this would have been a mandatory evacuation. Probably would have moved us higher up the mountain, get out of the way of the storm surge, and some of the waves from this storm are approaching 20 to 25 feet. The surf moving slowly. It just brings back memories back from 1999, 2000, almost 20 years ago. Seems like it was just yesterday. I always identified with those islands. I never had any trouble with the natives. I guess they saw that I was a benevolent force and left me be. Never had any problem at all. It was a wonderful time, but it was an awful long way back to the mainland. I did not get what they call island fever. In fact, I loved the islands. When I went back home to Minnesota at that time for Christmas, for example, I got mainland fever. I wanted to go back to the islands. They're wonderful islands, and with all of the negative publicity that they've been getting of late, threats from North Korea, hurricanes, volcanoes, all kinds of things. Number one, you should keep in mind that the news will blow everything up as much as they can to make it seem as sensational as they can. But number two, remember, these are very real threats. And again, my sympathies go out to you. I still sometimes wish I was there, wish I could be part of it all. It's a wonderful place to live. And don't let news like this, if you're ever planning on moving there or planning on ever moving to Hawaii, don't let this kind of news dissuade you. Every place has its downside. Here in the Black Hills of Dakota Territory, we have massive snowstorms and hailstorms, which we had the other day, tennis ball sized hail, a lot of roof damage to a lot of homes. In Miami, of course, you have the hurricane threat and you have such high crime. Crime is nowhere near as high in Hawaii as it was in Miami. And here in the Black Holes of Dakota Territory, it's practically non existent. But every place has its problems. If you want to go somewhere to live, don't let things like this scare you away. If you want to go badly enough, go, live the lifestyle, become part of the lifestyle, and take what comes. This is not paradise here on this planet, the third from a star in a galaxy, in a cluster of galaxies, in a massive universe, perhaps one of many multidimensional universes. Here you are, here is your life, do what you want with it, and all of these other phenomena be, well, darned. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time, so long.